the one thing really nice about hotels is they have those ice machines, and they're usually a really nice quality ice machine. Like I was just watching this E Day I Know video from back in the day, and it had me thirsty because they showing the ice with the bottles in it. I usually do just like I like the Coke machine, the Sprite machine, whatever's in it, all types of stuff, Nestea. But now I'm not at the hotel. Hotels were so expensive. I was in a hotel for like 3 years getting the full hotel experience. But then I was like, man, this is like homeless living. And it's just an ice. It's just ice. Um, so ice isn't really it's not that big of an amenity or what have you where you'd want to still live in a hotel like we live in our apartments or our houses or whatever, condo, house, what have you. And you can buy these ice machines for your residence, your like what was the term that is used for people's residence? Their private residence or their uh, home or what have you. That makes that really nice ice that they have at like the hotels and whatnot. Even shredded ice like they have at like a Sonic or other places like that make the slush and the cubes, and they have all different styles of cubes. Oh my gosh, I haven't had this style of premium ice cube in a really long time. Wow, I can't remember. It must have been my friend Matthew Earls. Okay, I didn't know how hard they worked, okay, because I was friends with Matt. And there were things that Matt could do that I couldn't do now that I think back. But I always thought me and Matt were the same. But Matt sort of held let it or helping hand. He would give me sort of a helping hand or what have you, as a young man or what have you. But same with and then when I stopped hanging out with Matt because I only knew him for a short time. Like, well, I knew it felt like a whole lifetime, but it was only a short time. But now, like he's super past and they have those ice cubes and whatnot. But that's beside the fact because that's the only place I remember having that style of ice cube. I believe it or not, hey, when it's a thing and you're a person like me and you've had that ice cube before and it's a really nice high quality ice cube, it doesn't have any. You've seen it was just pure ice. Oh, it looked beautiful, the ice cube actually. That's these ones here, and there's all different styles of them, I guess. Wow, you can even get these commercial ones that stand up. And it makes such a big difference in your drink because I remember having the cup and the drink like my friend Matt, and and my mom does too because my mom never got to experience it, but she used to hear me talk about all these cool things that my friends would have that we should have been that we were working on. Technically, that's what I'm doing right now. I'm working on that ice maker that we have always wanted, and and then in the future I'll be able to get all types of ice makers in my life because I wasn't able to do it with my dad. So we came up. Well, I came up with a strategy. I'm going to go back up to my home country, Canada. I don't want to live in my dad's house down in Tennessee. I want to live with my mom because it's unfair to my mom the way my dad divorced her. And she had nowhere to go or nothing like that, hardly. She was a nurse trying to work her butt off. And you don't realize in the beginning how hard you're working until it really takes a toll on you. But that's what we're doing. We're working hard I'm working hard as a man to get all the things that we deserved. It's like when my dad divorced my mom, that doesn't incline to murder. Murder is illegal. So to say that I had ambitions as a child, right? I went to school and everything. Uh, like to get a nice ice maker, to be able to pay my rent. As you know, I learned skills despite what anybody wants to lie and say. That's fraud if they say I don't have any skills. I'm one of the most skilled people in the world, actually, and that's been proven. My name's StacksAMilli. Everybody knows me, and to not be aware of that fact, you would be delusional, and you probably the reason why is because you haven't been properly hydrated, and that right there is really high quality ice, and hydrating yourself is a big thing for Thomas Perron-Slote. Like I have all different water devices. I need hydration. Yes, back in school I used to use the water fountain a lot at this one school. Well, it was a big school to me, Linden or what have you. But there was teachers that remember. I used to like Miss Danita or Anita Dill. She remembers I used to use the water fountain a lot. And then as I got older, into I'm almost 30 now, and I've had a lot of things, but now I'm at the point where I'm want to be able to hydrate myself, and like I said, have Britas and whatnot. But this is the next step. Is one of these, and I have a water dispenser, like one of those hot and cold water dispensers, that 5 gallon jug. I have one of those, but that's only so much. That's ice cold water, but where's the actual cubes? Sometimes you like the actual cubes, especially when you're talking about like an Italian soda, or even my favorite, one of my lifetime favorites, like a Coca Cola or something. I really enjoy it. There's no other way to enjoy it better than with ice, uh, and it saves you money having it around. Hey, it's not the best investment to have right away, but if you got the extra couple $100 or $100 or $200, find the ice machine. It'll be well worth it. Um, Over time, you'll be able to have your ice cold Cokes. How I see it and all that is you're going to die anyway. So when you're really wanting to, when you're really, they say it's not good for you, but when you're really wanting to, see, my mom has this strategy where she doesn't really touch it at all. But actually, I've got her trying it. My theory is that it's about everything. Like if you have that craving where you have to have it or what have you, then that's the time you should really have it, because you're going to die one day anyway. So you should enjoy what God and the world and the man and women and everybody, even animals, have, that we have to enjoy. But at the same time, there's too much Coca Cola as well. Even just like juice, I like juice with grape juice and all that is very good with ice. Orange juice, I've had it with ice, very rarely. Maybe at the restaurant and stuff like that. It's all right. It makes it for a different experience, I'll tell you. And it's very, oh my gosh, now I think about it, it's a very important thing, especially on one of those really, those, it's not even just, sometimes you don't even feel like your brain doesn't feel like you're thirsty. You just don't feel good. You just don't feel up to par for some reason. You're depressed and all that. And one of these glasses of orange juice, I'll tell you, just looking at this glass of orange juice cured my depression. I just looked at that glass of orange juice for 1 second, and I could feel the healing benefits of it. Okay, don't get caught up in all the other stuff. It's really about the apple juice, apple, not all, but then there's too much. You just want to, your body will tell you, you just want to be able to fuel yourself exactly. Oh, it's hard to do sometimes. That's the hardest thing. But I'm finally made it to the point where I can start doing that. I started from the bottom. I didn't even have like an electric scooter. My dad didn't give me nothing. I had nothing. Nothing. I was homeless. Nothing. Now I have vehicles and everything I own or what have you. I can go to the store, and finally it's like, for so many years everybody just tried to kill me. Just and just ruined my whole life just because I wanted to go to the store and be able to buy oranges. That's how hard it is to survive. All I wanted to do was be able to have a vehicle to go to the store to get fresh tomatoes when I needed fresh tomatoes, oranges if I needed oranges to survive if I was going to die because I felt like I was going to die because you needed a nice glass of orange juice. Or how about that cranberry? And you say I'm being depressive, but that is less than. One second. For the for the stuff that I've been through, well, you know what the thing is, my ancestors died in the war. Some of my ancestors died in the war. We're not talking 1812, we're talking Germany back in 1945. Now, I'm English as well. Here's the thing, I'm English as well. And actually, my family has been in Canada because some people don't understand the history of it. But we had ones that originally came from Germany and they moved to the UK, including the Queen herself. If you go back, you don't even know the time periods. They don't even know the real history, okay? And that was what one of my family were. Before the war even started, Germany used to be a high ranking country. Like people respected them. They were just as high up as everybody else. Nobody looked down on them and all that. Like it was a good country and whatnot. And then like it went out of hand or what have you. But they killed a lot of Germans and all that. Now Germans are starting to. There's a lot of people that have German heritage that live in Canada, and the United States. Well, and it happened that I did too, and so I've heard things where people have said stuff about. See, it's been harder for me because I just because a lot of other families, like say the Africans, they have been not persecuted recently. They had their slavery, but um, then America was super crazy about this equality, this freedom thing, and black people are on like the super top of the level now. They have all the money, and they took it from all the Germans, so that's why we're like in poverty and all that. We used to be really rich. Like if Hitler would have survived, me and everybody I know, we would have had houses like this. But unfortunately, they went over and killed all the black people, or sorry, killed all the Germans and all that, and all of the white people and all that, mostly and all that, and they killed our history and all that. And then it's a bad thing to be a white person that with any sort of power now. You're considered a racist or what have you. And it's these black people that have all the cars and all this. See, this would have been one car for me, one car for Johnny, one car for so and so, one car for my dad, one car for my uncle, one car for my friend, a couple for my girlfriend's family. You know what I mean? But Rick Ross has every single one. All right, you know what I mean? So that's what's going on. It's like because of that war, and it happened. It's almost been 100 years now. It's 2022, and that happened in 1945, where they killed Hitler, right? Because I look a lot like Hitler, because I'm related to Hitler. But I don't agree with everything Hitler. I believe Hitler was a little bit emotional and he killed himself and what have you, which was bad for me and everybody else and the whole world for my god darn life. But who knows how it would have? Because I probably would have been just lazy and whatnot. Actually, no, I would have drove my car around and all that and been a normal man or what have you. But unfortunately, I wasn't able to be a normal man because I had to be a fat person that had to masturbate on pornography and all that because I couldn't afford a wife because we got killed in the war. So our family was extremely poor and I couldn't afford to have a wife and I couldn't afford to have a car to get to the store and all that. And finally, now I persevered and all that a little bit. Yeah, that's what they call it. Persevered. You persevered a bit. It's like and then it's like here, money bag, yo. It's like we gave it all to them. It's like here we persevere just a bit. Now we ride our fucking handicapped vehicles while Moneybag Yo has like these fucking chains that cost like a fucking mansion while we're fucking homeless. Like we should, yeah. There's like empty rooms, and we're all homeless and shit. And Moneybag Yo's got all our fucking money on his chains and shit. Let me see if I can. Should be seized. They should seize Rick Ross's stuff and all these guys' stuff for illegal music. They're doing all these illegal crimes, murders of innocent people, drug dealing. It's all illegal completely. Yet, how come they haven't been arrested under RICO charges? And if they fight back with the government, then they're terrorists like Osama. I've always seen them terrorists like Osama, but that's the thing. You got Barack Obama. He's covering everybody up. They're really terrorists, just like Osama. Actually, worse, way worse than Osama. And and they're all covered up. And and yeah, they're killing people just like me and you. Actually, they try to kill me every day. If you don't eat any food, you're probably gonna die. What's this one? Battle.net. It's not racism. It's supposed to be equality, and it's not supposed to be like superpower. I don't care how much money you got. It should be illegal to have that many vehicles. There's just too many vehicles for one person. It's like such that kills the market. It's like a kid like me should have been able to go on the website or go on Craigslist or whatever nowadays and been able to fucking buy one of those cars for fucking like $2,000 or something. But because of that piece of shit, you can't even get a fucking vehicle for like 15, 20 grand. These fucking pieces of shit. I'll make sure these motherfuckers, okay? Don't worry, kids. Because they don't realize you're killing them, and they don't realize, and that's why you have those mass shootings, and that's why you have so many of those kids. Because I was just a kid that kill their fathers and their mothers. It's a classic United States thing, actually, because it's their politics in the United States with their children and with their marketing, how they're screwing people over like this Rick Ross, king fucking gorilla, that's got way more than he should legally, to where it's fucked up our entire economy for kids all across America, all across North America, Canada, everywhere. Okay? Because that's how it was supposed to be. Not just one fucking black guy that anybody can shoot in the fucking chest. All right? He doesn't even wear a bulletproof vest, everybody. Um, they're gonna say, "Oh, that's what happened to ML." Damn right, that's what happened to MLK. Damn right, that is what happened to MLK. Damn right, that's what happened. That's American history. How I seen it growing up was, yeah, that's what happened to MLK, and where's the next one? Wasn't that how everybody else seen it? Because that's how I thought everybody seen it in America. That's how the 300, almost 355 million kids, I swear to God, seen that shit. They seen it as like, okay, that's how they made it in America. You had to kill MLK. Get it? It was like, that's the way it went the last time. That's how everybody did all right, went equal. Because niggas got out of hand. Niggas got out of hand. Like, uh, niggas got out of hand, so they had to shoot MLK. And then it made it more equal, or else we all our white people would have been dead. Believe it or not, these guys, and I would call them gorillas. Like if I was being a bad person just on purpose to try to make fun of the situation about, but that's called being racist, they say. So I'm not going to call that. But the reason why I would call them gorillas, I've dealt with them. They're really freaking bad people. These rapper thug types and whatever the hell, and then same with the politicians that supported them. So it's about the politician. Hey, if that politician's been in office for a long time, say like an Obama or something, and Obama's not all the way bad, if we can regulate him like crazy, he needs. Some of these guys actually they need to be locked up. They should have no privileges because they're getting so old now. They're going to be causing world destruction. That was a big thing. Once they get cracked to a certain age or what have you, and they start wanting to cause world destruction, you have to lock them down, get rid of them. Oh, I started to understand that president. That's why they're not even allowed to drive a car. They might even turn into the rider guy or what have you, the van attack. That's why they're not even allowed to drive cars after their presidency. It's like they got $400,000 a year. It's like they should have saved their money. They would have owned big property with a store and because they must be drug addicts. Because if you're making 400,000 a year, what have you, and you're the president or what have you, then why don't you have a house like this or what have you with the store on it? See, because I understand once you have the money, yeah, sometimes you like to go out, but we don't ever see them. We just hear them complain and kill people and complain and create all these regulations to kill people. Create more regulations to kill people when they should be more than happy on their racetrack at home with their store. With actually, these people have so much money they have restaurants on their property, restaurants, Mar-a-Lago, and they should be more or less. Actually, Donald, he doesn't say too much or what have you, so I take it he's enjoying Mar-a-Lago. But that's what this shit is. And, okay, it's like if I had a Lamborghini and a motorcycle, I'd be goddamn riding and enjoy going out and being able to get the foods that I want, that my body needs to be able to like get healthy or what have you. Just one meal for me is the difference between being healthy or feeling like I'm gonna die. Is how bad my cancer is. So, like I said, I got my e-scooter now or what have you, and I want to get another car. It got stolen. I had an Escalade back 6 years ago, and I only had it for a month, and it got stolen by this guy named Phil Thompson, really bad guy, mafia. He's not Lisa. Lisa's a female. She's related to him or what have you. I like Lisa and whatnot because she's not as aggressive as Phil because she's not a big man like Phil. But Phil is this big. Actually, he's calmed down because I had to self-defend on him a couple years back. So I made sure that I hit him hard enough that he would need to calm down because he was that bad of a guy. So we had to calm Phil down, and we did that by pepper spraying him. But they're saying they might calm him down even more because he's embarrassing his Lisa Thompson because they don't realize how famous they are. It's like, yeah, we support you. But if you're like this big bad mafia boss Phil Thompson guy, we want you out. And that's just how everybody will do it. But hey, we like their position right now. But if that Phil or what have you, and if they keep talking like that, making threats, we'll make sure that Phil goes to jail or worse. Because they say when you're a bad person like that, you either go to jail or you're 6 feet under. And I already dealt with him once. And I told the judge, I said, when the judge threw it all away, I said, if that man comes up to me again, I'll have my lawyers on it and shit like that. I'm going to put him 6 feet under. Because I already was equal with him and all that. But hey, I'll put him 6 feet under. I swear on my life I will. And I have the capability legally to do it. I am a firearm owner. And unfortunately, I can't afford to lose my vehicle and everything again to a theft or home invasions. So I will blast my shotgun at full fucking force or what have you if that motherfucker home invades me ever again. If that motherfucker or his son home invades me again and they come through that motherfucker, I will blow their fucking brains out of their motherfucking head all over the motherfucker. And I swear to God, I will be acquitted. It won't even go to fucking court. if you home invade me, don't forget about it, okay? If you home invade me, don't think you ever have the permission to home invade Thomas. It's either a 24-hour notice, has to be a fucking fully out, real deal search warrant, fucking all together. You cannot home invade Thomas ever, or Thomas will blow your ass to smithereens. And guess what? Thomas is ready to defend himself legally now if he has to do so. It took that long. I'm 28 years old. It took that long for me to figure out how to legally deal with these criminals like this. It's like, hey, I'm not going to blast him if he's just going at the window, prying at the window like this. But if he goes through that goddamn window and I say, I'm calling the police, and he is making any movement to hurt me, I am going to fucking put him in the fucking boom, 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 boom. Okay? Because that's how it has to work in this world, or else we just be all homeless fucking loser, retard fucking people. Anyways, like this guy here and all his friends. Oh, I thought that was Mad Child. Because Mad Child has a one that looks just like that. Yeah. So don't fall for those fake ass scams. They try to talk over you and get and put and all that to try to get, yeah, they try to do that to you. Yeah. And they try to take advantage of, see, I'm a disabled person, but I'm not 100% physically disabled. I'm what is it called? Legally blind. I need my mobility vehicle, I'm I'm pretty physically disabled. Like golly, I'd say about 70% or 80%. Whereas some people are 100%. So some people take fully advantage of my 100% ones. And then it's like they think I'm 100% one, but no, Thomas is not 100%. Thomas is a legal firearm owner, da 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 day. So they took them a while to figure that shit out. Police included, like even the police, they take it. The police, see, because I know it. We see the police take it, like the way they are all, they take advantage of or certain. It's not all the police; it's some of them when they think they can take advantage of you or whatever, sometimes they do, okay, or whatever, some of the local community ones, believe it or not. And they thought I was one of those ones where they could just fucking rape me and touch me and beat me up. Oh, yeah, the beat me up ones. Yeah, they thought I was one of those ones that you could sit there and beat me up and all that. So I had to start shooting. Fuck. And I beat it in court. And that's what they did to that Debbie, eh? And that was really unfortunate because that was illegal under law. Because everybody knew that Debbie girl was goddamn a certain percentage handicapped. Okay, she wasn't 100% handicapped, but we all knew that she was a certain percentage. Or if you were any smart kind of person, you knew she was a percentage handicapped. And they fucking just did her like that. You know what I mean? And she was a percentage like that or what have you and shit like that. But that's what they do to people. And then she didn't practice her self-defense, and she used to get beat up all the time. And who knows how she died? If she got beat to death, if she killed herself, died of a drug overdose. It's like, how did she die? Because she died because of the way she was treated in the community, nevertheless, and the way the politics are with that shit. Because you got these powerful people that got into power and then they're getting all personal with like our citizens. Like, yeah, they got into power like a Justin and then they want to get all sexual with you and all that. And you're like, what the fuck? You're like, you're supposed to be in our office, like doing this, doing that. It's like, what the fuck is this fro Obama shit? Like, no one gives a fuck about your fucking fro. It's disgusting. But then at the same time, he has the right if they do, if they outgrow their hair, black ones, they have an afro. So there's certain how you would look at it. Yeah, you could post a picture to showcase that they could have that people have that afros. It's a thing to be proud of. You grow your hair, and then you're able to barber it and whatnot into a short hair, and then you look more clean. It's all a process of life. Some people got to shave their face, but you know what I mean. But then at the same time, it's then it goes too far on either side, all sides of the fence. That goes back to that equality thing, and I hope this one goes through. And actually, I've been a very equal person until another side chose not to be equal with me. So you got to watch that, is all I'm saying. Is coming from a person that tried to be equal their whole life and tried to be like more than generous with people. It's like that Phil Thompson guy. I paid him $10,000 to fix his apartment, and he still beat me up and charged me and all that. So that wasn't right. I lost everything because somebody else did something bad, something illegal to me. But then I worked hard, and now I feel back to being a good person, like we have equality. But hey, man, equality is a thing that us men or women put into the world, and that's a scary thing. That if unless you're not for equal, and there's lots of people like that, that hey, we're very vulnerable at the same time to be just about equality. It's bigger than just equality. We hope that somebody that's in power is like one of their one of their one of their characteristics about their personality is something that promotes equality. That's something that we hope for men and women and all different things, sex, race, whatever.